Yeah. Maybe a little bit late and so forth, but guys, it is what it is. Guys are trying to live. Guys are trying to say what's up and so forth. I've shaved my head because I did a little bit of work-related stuff to start to look a little bit presentable for my little thing, which is actually fun. Actually, we're talking about cancel culture, but nobody knows what my true secret identity is. You bricks. Daniel, how are you doing? How is your life, bro?
I'm okay.
So you say, okay, why not amazing? Why not great? Why not ravishing? Why not sassy? Why not philanthropic?
I don't think the viewing public deserves to know how I feel outside of the show. So I'm okay.
Okay. So you think you know what the public wants to know? What if the public care about you? What if they've grown so fond of you on this show over the years? They would like to know that you were okay over the last few months. They would like to know whether you're doing fine. Because I'm sure everybody in that chat will, because nobody cares about me. I know this because I rub people the wrong way.
Abdullahi's
there. Oh, he's there. Okay. Nobody cares about me. Because I rub people the wrong way. But Daniel, I want you to tell the people
I'm okay. That's all you get. I'm okay. Like,
how's your family? How's your health? Have you been to the
It's all okay.
How's your private life?
It's all
okay. The
okay.
question you're asking should be asked by his fiancé or his girlfriend, not you. It's a simple question. It's very easy. His fiancé and his girlfriend needs to ask this question from him. His health, his well-being, and everything should be asked by his fiancé or his girlfriend. How is he
Nah,
doing?
like I'm
Because they're
okay.
gonna live
That's the
together.
answer. Like everything
Simple.
is cool. Like I mean, if you want me to go into detail, ask me off camera. It's like I'm not gonna be like, hey yo. So my mom got this, my dad got this, my brother got this. Like nah, like
Okay, look,
everything's
guys,
cool.
I'll be real. I think, okay, guys, you know what? Full transparency. I don't give a crap whether this is called the Chelsea show or whatever. I'm going to be real with you because I'm flipping the script right now. I think this whole COVID thing and stuff, man. I think I'm slightly going mad. So if my tweets or my stuff are a little bit thingy, it's because I think I'm slightly going crazy. So, and I said to myself that fuck it. That's why I said fuck it, man.
You know when you look at a WhatsApp group and there's
Yeah.
this thing says 789 messages from one of my groups. I'm like, what has happened? I'll have to go read it, but that just yeah.
I'm never leaving over 700 message. I'm not reading it. I would like it. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well and you're doing fine, man.
Yeah,
I see that your YouTube channel is popping off. I see you tweeting, putting links and stuff all around and so forth. Are you
I'm
doing
on
fine? Yeah.
I'm on Spotify now for people who want to support my channel,
Oh
guys.
yeah.
The Blue Studios on Spotify. You guys could listen to our show. For maybe the Champions League, everything, the watch along we do is on
Quality.
Spotify now, so we guys could
Quality.
listen to it. And
I'll be like, that's
this
amazing,
guy started this stuff, and I've joined him now. This content guy he does every time, man.
I'll be lucky, man. That's so swell.
He started this.
That's so
So guys,
I'll be lucky. I didn't start anything. I'm just a regular man trying to live. I'm just a black man trying to survive in this white man's world.
I
So
understand.
don't put any kind of label on me like I'm a hero. I'm just a black man trying to live in this white man's world. Very
Yeah.
simple.
So for people who are kind of
I'm
asking,
like, okay. I'm like, we know you're on Spotify and you're on YouTube. I will retweet your stuff. Okay, guys, let's now get to the real crux of the matter right now.
Where's
Let's
Eddie? Where's Eddie?
Abdullahi, Eddie's not here. He'll come when he wants to come, and he'll be here soon. You see, let me calm myself right now. I'm feeling a little bit cranky, guys. I'm sorry, I'm feeling it. So if I am snappy or so forth, I'm just feeling a bit cranky.
Okay, no. What's going on with you? You asked about us. How are you?
So now you want to know what's going on with me.
I'm putting you on the spot like you put me on the spot.
I am.
Do you feel like sharing with the people? Not really,
sure.
right?
Oh no, yeah. I'm just, this whole COVID stuff, psychological stuff, mental strain, content's crack, putting out the content stuff, it's wearing down on me, man. I need a break, and
It's an international break.
I know. No, but this is why it's been key. But I think that I'm ready to snap. So if I'm feeling a bit snappy and a bit rude, I apologize. But it is what it is. I'm feeling a bit cranky. So guys, let's just get straight down to this whole thing, man. FC Porto in the Champions League, man. Because we've not really discussed this as a group. I think this is a trick. And I feel that any Chelsea fan that is dumb enough to celebrate this, you are inherently stupid, and you're a flipping moron, and you don't have a brain. Only a brainless person would celebrate this as thinking that this is an easy dub. Now, if you want to look at it on face value, sure, this would appear to be one of the easier draws, but you look at what FC Porto are saying, and I think I was reading I don't know whether it was an FC Porto player or somebody associated to FC Porto.
No, the manager and the president. The manager.
This. Kai! I'm like, can the man finish his sentence? God damn. Okay.
My desk is broken.
Let's start again. So, an FC Porto man. I don't know whether who he was associated to whatever. I don't give a damn who he is. He said that Chelsea players celebrated the where Chelsea were pulled out, and that right there has me worried. That right there has me worried, because the very fact that people are celebrating, I think, is very wrong. I think the worst thing you can do is to underestimate the underdog. I told you, David and Goliath, man. Obviously, Daniel is our Bible expert here and so forth. Look, man, David, man, look, I don't think anybody puts one kobo on David slaying Goliath. Okay?
No.
But it is what it is. David found his way. And was it like a slingshot to the head to Goliath or something? Or
yep.
You see, so Sunday school, I was there, I was confirmed with a baby.
I was confirmed.
This is a very dangerous game. And for some strange reason, I can see Chelsea somehow losing this. And I think FC Porto 100% are going to be extremely are going to be extremely motivated for this. So I'm not that excited for this. I'm actually more worried. I'm actually a little bit much more wary. But if Chelsea go out to FC Porto, these guys they don't even deserve to be in this freaking competition, man. So Daniel Tillock, since that's your name, so Daniel, you don't want me to call you Danny, Mr. Daniel, should I say Daniel Tillock Esquire? Mr. Daniel Tillock, the rights extraordinaire, the 5-time Nobel Prize winner,
yep.
the linguist, the guy who has written articles that have won awards. Mr. Daniel Tillock, please use your extreme intelligence, since you are the savant and you're the Aristotle of this whole thing. Please, Daniel, educate us, because we are not worthy of your intelligence, man. Your views on FC Porto.
Mr. HH, Daniel, please, Mr. HH, can you speak a proper English, please? I'm begging you. Just speak in normal proper English.
Daniel,
we heard you English.
Your thoughts on FC Porto, man. Your thoughts on FC Porto.
Firstly, let's not go too far with the extolling, please.
What does extolling mean?
Google.
Look at his dick, man. Look at his dick. He had to bring one of those words in there, man. Oh my God.
Okay, no. I think if you're a Chelsea fan, you should be feeling good about FC Porto, given the choices on the board that were available. I think most people should be feeling happy, the players included. So if they're happy, cool. If you're Porto, I feel like you should be happy that you got Chelsea, given the options that were available. So I think both sides can come into that tie with a good feeling that this is probably one of the better matchups, maybe outside of Dortmund, that you could have gotten. So I wouldn't say it's 50-50. I think Chelsea are favorites. But Porto, after what they did to Juventus, they're not in an easy side. I wouldn't count it like Chelsea are in the semifinal, like some proper fans already doing. They're booking their tickets to wherever. Obviously, there's not tickets, but their mental tickets
We're in the pandemic. Daniel,
are in the semifinal.
We're in the pandemic, Daniel. They're no tickets to be booked.
I got you. But yeah, so mental tickets. They're already like, no, we're in the semifinal already. I wouldn't go that far. But out of the options that were available, you'd look at FC Porto. FC Porto was the team every other team wanted. So that Chelsea got them, I understand their happiness. Now, if on the Porto side, everybody wanting you is going to make you feel away. So we're the lowest on the rug. We're like the worst. You guys want us? Fine, let's go. And they're playing with house money after they weren't supposed to be here because they drew Juventus. So they're a dangerous team to play, even if they're the most favorable given the other 7 options.
Before I go to Abdullahi, how do you view this? So put on your tactical mind, because I know that you're one of the best out there looking at this thing tactically. So tactically, is this suits Chelsea? Does it suit FC Porto? Or do you see so much?
I don't watch enough of FC Porto to understand how they would go about it. So I don't know if their manager would respond to Tuchel's back 5 with his own back 5, if they play 4-3-3, if they play 4-2-3-1. I'm not sure. So as good as my tactics are, I don't have a great beat on what FC Porto do. So we know what Tuchel will do. He's going to play with his same formation that he's been playing all season, but I don't know the ramifications of that with FC Porto as yet.
Daniel, that was a fantastic breakdown. Abdullahi, give us your thoughts on this whole FC Porto thing.
I've listened to the manager, the president of FC Porto, the way they talk. I get that. It's Chelsea Football Club. I understand. I'm not over the moon, but it's fine. It's good. It's FC Porto. We're good. So we don't need to start debating on this. It's not Bayern Munich, it's not PSG, or it's not Manchester City. So we're cool. We chill. Just chill. We're good. But it's a match we should win. It's a match we have to win. And it's a match we definitely need to win. There's a difference in everything.
When you say have to win and need to win, what do you mean by that? Can you please elaborate on that point, please?
Good. FC Porto is a team we have to not sweep them apart. I expect us to go to that match and anything less than W. We are Chelsea Football Club and the fans, we have a problem. Anything other than W, they're gonna be a problem because the first leg, no Taremi, no Oliveira, and no Pepe in the first leg is out, is injured, is out. So that's an advantage for us already. So I see no reason why we can't go into the first match and just win them, have an advantage in the first leg. Then second leg is at home at the Bridge, which gives us more chances of going to the semi-final. So which, I'm not saying Porto is an easy team, but they'll give us a run for our money. Yes, good.
But that's what you just said, though. You've disrespected FC Porto by saying that Chelsea should win, so you're pretty much dismissing FC Porto.
No, so I'm not dismissing FC.
No, well,
what I'm saying is
that's what you just said.
No, what I'm saying is Chelsea has a big club. You can't go to the Champions League and be like FC Porto. I understand stupid stuff happen in Champions League. I get that, but we have to go to the Champions League having that mentality.
Did you or did you not say that you expected a W?
Yes, I expected a W.
So when you said you expected a W, that means you're dismissing the threat of FC Porto. Yes or
because no? Because I know Chelsea Football Club. We do give away a lot. We do give away. So I
understand. But you said you expected a W.
Yeah, I expected a W.
So which means that you expect Chelsea to beat FC Porto.
Yeah, I expect us to beat.
So which means that you don't see FC Porto as a major threat.
No, really.
Okay, so therefore you are. So therefore, I was right. You are dismissing FC Porto.
No, not like this.
Yeah, no. It is yes. You are. No, that's what you're doing. Come on, Abdullahi. Let's a bit run the bush. You're dismissing FC Porto. So don't find mental words here, bro.
When you said
it's 2021.
No. Thank God Daniel is who kind of understand English. When you talk about dismiss, it's like
taking. So you're saying that I don't understand English? Wait a minute. So you're saying that I don't understand English?
What's going on right now? Well, hold on. Pause. What's going on right now?
The guy just says I don't understand English.
No, what I said is there's like when you
That's
talk
that. I
about
don't understand
no
English, but carry
when
on.
you talk about dismiss is like deleting, taking out. What I said is Chelsea have to win, should win,
I was in
and
top set English, by the way, in my school, by the way. But so there you
so
go.
when you talk about dismiss is kind of you're breaking down
C sets maths.
into different variables like this. You can call it delete, you can call it taking out, you can call it different stuff. So I'm not dismissing FC Porto, but out of 100%, at least Chelsea have like 70 or 80% chance of going to because it's FC Porto.
So yeah, 80% are going through because it's FC Porto. They're a
Yeah.
small team, isn't it? There's like a
No,
small
not a
team.
small team.
They're a
They,
small
they,
team.
they, they won two Champions League for a reason. So we have to give them their credit and respect them. So I'm giving them their credit and respecting them. But Chelsea overall, their favorite to go to. So anything less than W for Chelsea Football Club, I'm not taking that.
Um, I want to ask another question to Daniel. Daniel Tulloch. If Chelsea were to get knocked out by FC Porto, how damaging would it be for Chelsea season if they were to get knocked out by FC Porto, given everything that has transpired this season and what Tuchel has done?
You know, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, what Abdullahi says, I think, has a kernel of truth in it. That Chelsea are going to be seen by the globe as favorites because just name brand recognition of what it is. And the English team should beat the Portuguese team. That kind of simple kind of deduction, right? So it wouldn't be good, but by the same token, you are dealing with like a squad that already got a manager sacked. So like in the context of the season's kind of already been trash. Out like
Frank Homeboy.
exactly, like you were set up like I don't know, you're like trying to do I don't have a good analogy for it, but like
Sudoku.
I don't know. But it's
Scrabble.
like you're trying to fight with the
Feather.
hand tied behind your back, you know. So I'm not sure if you look at the story of the season, if Chelsea losing in the quarterfinals of the Champions League and not making the semis is a big deal, but in the moment it might feel like it, you know.
So okay, so
I'm not sure. That's a good question. I don't know.
So what about so Abdullahi? If Chelsea were to be knocked out by FC Porto, what would that mean? Would that be a disaster? Would it be expected based on how the season had transpired? What would it mean if they were to be knocked out by FC Porto at this stage of the Champions League?
Mike, the first question you asked, I will answer that. Is three answers. The first answer is
Three.
if it was Tuchel, that took over from the beginning of the season, this would be more clearer to answer, very, very well, very clear to answer. But it's because of the 2 years apprenticeship that took over the Chelsea Football Club, so it's breaking down into two. Each like you have a team of one group A, be like Lampard get out of Chelsea Football Club. There's a group B of now we have Tuchel. Our mindset completely changed. So we are in the middle now. So getting knocked out of the Champions League is a big unification in terms of the level of Chelsea Football Club it has been under Roman and under the board. Will it be that much more of a unification? Not that much, but I think overall people will look at Chelsea like, is Chelsea really that good club and that kind of stuff, which I kind of understand. We've been in this. We've been in this show for many years. We've known that this group have been working, so it's been long. So getting bantered, getting abused on social media isn't new thing anymore because it happens. It's Chelsea Football Club. It does happen. So will I be surprised? No. Will I be angry? Hell no, because I know Chelsea. I know Chelsea structure very well. So
You say you know Chelsea structure very well. Do you work for Chelsea?
the way no when I said I know Chelsea structure, I mean the way Chelsea is being run.
Half of you are in a pissy mood, man, or in a different mood. It's different. I don't know what's up.
I'm not. No, I'm just not. You know, it says you know how Chelsea's work. So I'm just saying, do you work for the club or do you have sources in the club?
What I mean is the way Chelsea is being run. No, everybody, when you're a Chelsea fans, you know how that club runs. We know the in and out of Chelsea, especially Roman. We know how Roman runs club.
Okay.
So it's not even new to everybody being a Chelsea fans. We know how that club runs.
Do you know what I
It's a
think? Like,
structure.
if Lampard was still there, nobody would have expected Chelsea to beat Atletico. So the fact that Chelsea got rid of Lampard and got past Atletico and are now in the quarters is house money. Because this season you shouldn't be in that position based off what we saw for the first, I don't know how many months it was, 5-6 months maybe. So that Chelsea are in the quarterfinal. Let's see what they do. But if they lose, maybe because it's Porto, there'll be a bit of a sting, like we shouldn't have lost to them in people's minds. But looking at the totality of the thing, I think the barometer of success will be top 4. And if they can get top 4, then Tuchel next season can be judged having a full season, a summer of transfers. You reach the accomplishment of getting Champions League, and then they'll judge you accordingly next season. But this season, it's house money. If you lose, you should have done better, but should you have even been there, given how the season started? So I guess that's my answer.
Oh no, I think. No, I mean, I think you're sort of right, because I think, like, look, if Chelsea lose based on, I think, how the season has gone and so forth, it's like, look, man, I mean, took over halfway through the season, drastically changed the formation and the tactics, to now expect him to now win the sale. So pretty expect him to do what Zidane did in 2016 when he took over Benitez. That's a bit much, because Real Madrid were in a bad way under Benitez in 2016, and Zidane took over, won them a freaking seal. So, but then that's Real Madrid, and Zidane is touched by the football gods. But there's just something that just says to me that you are right, that even if they lose to FC Porto, as much as it would sting, you can't really put too much on it, on Tuchel, based on how the season has gone. But it just feels as if it's like, man, this is an opportunity to make the semi-final.
It depends.
Because as much as FC Porto is a threat, it could have been so much worse.
It depends how they lose, if they lose. If they lose embarrassingly to a team you think they should beat, like it's, I don't know, 4-1 on aggregate or something like that, then you could look at Tuchel like, are we sure we want to give him the money for like the summer transfer window? If it's like 2-2, they go through on away goals, or 3-3 or something like that, and there's individual mistakes, not necessarily tactical errors, then I don't think Tuchel will get any blame for it. It's just like, look, you steadied the ship, you got past Atletico, that's the major win of the season. Let's see what you can do in the Premier League, and if you get top 4, which it seems like they should or could, then we go again next season, if I'm Roman Abramovich.
And Daniel right, but I think my third answer to this is HH himself, because ever since you make that kind of name of I want Bayern, you've been like, since last year you've been laid down.
That was last season.
Let me talk.
So why are you viewing in the past?
Let me talk. Ever since you make that comment of I want Bayern, so last year you've been like this, then you come like this, then you like this. I know where you're heading to. I don't want to talk. I know where you're going. I will just kind of lay back and keep my mouth shut. I'm not gonna say what I know as a fan. I already know where this is gonna go to. Imagine Chelsea going to the Champions League final. I know your reaction already, so I don't want to even go far.
Abdullah, you don't know me. I don't know you. So
AJ,
you don't know what's in my mind,
we
bro.
know. You
don't know.
No. You know what? You know something? The reason the receipt was kind of created by Gatlog is because he knows the kind of person you're like. You know, HH is like, he can't
Nobody
keep his
knows
emotion
me.
to himself.
Abdullah, you don't know me.
HH,
You don't know me.
HH, see, let me
Do what?
educate a little bit on biology, a little bit. So you see,
You want to educate me on biology?
Yeah, our body fluids sometimes.
Let's listen to this then.
See, you see, in biology, I'm not that good in biology. So sometimes our body fluid in our body, sometimes we can't control our emotions, or sometimes our body, in terms of the liquid and stuff we take. So in terms of our emotions, we can't even control it. Sometimes we can just kind of go overboard about it. And sometimes we go a little bit, that's kind of cool. Because to some people, they get mad, they get hungry, and some people, you see them go like easy. Like what happened to you last time when you're talking about I want Bayern, I want this. You've been kind of clipped out on everything. You're like, oh, get me Bayern, you get this, but now you're down. That is woman body entirely. Like sometimes you in the head, like, oh, I don't want to go back Bond and I get clipped again. I'm gonna be like, I'm in trouble. So I understand where you're going to as a fan. You've been like laid down, oh, I don't want to make the same mistake I made last year. I don't want to do this. It's natural. It's nature. It's called you can't shit on nature. It's very that's normal. You cannot shit on nature. It's your emotions. You can't take your emotion out of your body. It's not done. I've never seen that happen. You can't do that. So I understand the church. I understand the church.
Can I just say, Abdullahi? Can I just say, from the bottom of my heart, what you just said, I have to be real, has to probably be the biggest pile of bullshit I've ever heard in a long time. So from the bottom of my heart, that was the biggest pile of crap I've ever heard in my life. I'll just get some of these dubs and then we'll head over to this other thing. So from Albert Cardenius, man, thanks for the dub, who says, put respect on Porto's name. I am. Abdullahi isn't. This side can overcome Tuchel's Chelsea. If 2012 Chelsea got beat by Corinthians in the Club World Cup, Porto can do it too. Jesus Christ in heaven. Wow. Lord. From Luchi Toto, who says, I'm a Porto fan since forever. Oh, you think Oliveira and Marega are our best players? Is sacrilegious. I'll wait for the Hangout link Sunday. So much to say. Oh, man. You see, I think that Porto are really, because when I did because look, so when I did the draw reaction when Porto got Juventus, I was like, oh my gosh, they gave me Juventus and everything. Porto fans came at me and they took that very personally. They said, no, this is insulting. I was like, guys, look, okay, I'm sorry. I should not disrespect the club, but come on, man, it's an easy dub. Then when they did what they did, Porto respect Porto. It's a dangerous team, man. It's a dangerous team.
Gatlock's comment. He said Corinthians. He said Chelsea couldn't beat a team from the Bible. I low-key remember that time as well. It wasn't good, man. He said from the Bible.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
Guys, look, is this a channel of Bible now, guys? I got you.
Yeah, but I know him there. What's it called, man? Okay, let's talk this one, man. So
what is? By the way, what is that little green thing next to Gatlock's name? Is he like a special person?
Oh, member, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Member.
I was like, I don't know. Did he rank up?
Shout out to the members out there and so forth, man. But guys, again, I apologize if I'm feeling a bit cranky or so forth, man. And by the way, do you expect me to be smiling and all the time? No. Okay, I'm a human being, man. All right.
It's real.
So yeah, we will pop that bottle in Champions League final. Don't worry.
What's next? Where's Eddie? Oh, he's at work. He's at work in it. What episode number is this? I gotta remember this episode number. Is this like 22, 23? I guess Half Hope was deciding, do I take alcohol or do I not take alcohol?
The guy wants to pop a bottle. See, I'm saying, give me that bottle. Pop that bottle.
but no, Half Hope, by the way, it's been a minute, but we back. That's a way better jingle than pop those bottles down. It actually got stuck in my head. It's been a minute, but we back. We back. It's clever. It's good.
Oh, thank you. I told you the album is coming out soon, man.
The album.
You're gonna be executive producer, man. for the whole thing, man. But yeah, I'm working on it. The official album's going to be back. Pop Bottles, we back. Brick Academy, in the induction, Chief Oga Life. It's all coming. So I just need to just work out on like the clearances and the samples. Let's call this 30-25, shall we? FA Cup. Now, before I talk about Man City and so forth, how about we talk about the FA Cup in general, man? And let me come first to Abdullahi with this, because I'm sure Abdullahi is raring to go, So, Abdullahi, in your opinion, Abdullah, can I ask the question? Can I ask the question? Go for it. Can I finish asking the question? Thank you very much, Abdullahi. Thank you so much, Abdullahi. Thank you for allowing me to finish the question. Thank you, Abdullahi. So, Abdullahi, my question to you is: what is your view on the FA Cup? Do you view it as an important trophy for Chelsea to win?
Yeah, and people have been shouting,
Surprise.
Manchester City need to win a quadruple. This is the time we need to start. We need to stop that bullshit. I don't want to rant on Pep Guardiola, because a lot of people have been coming at me on social media a lot that they need me to respect and give Pep Guardiola a leeway. Okay, Mr. Pep Guardiola, I am giving you a leeway now. So, if
this has nothing to do with Pep Guardiola, like I asked you,
who is the manager of Man City? That's my question.
I didn't ask about Man City. I would like you to listen to the question. Listen to the question.
Who is Chelsea facing in the semi-final? Manchester City. So we have to talk about the FA Cup.
Listen to the question. The question is the FA Cup as a trophy. Who cares who they face? Whether it's flipping Leprechaun FC. The FA Cup as a trophy. How do you rate that trophy as a thing? That is the question, my dear friend. Thank you.
I rate FA Cup a lot because it's the most prestige cup in England. People call it Papa John's Cup. What the hell is Papa John's Cup? I think it's my first time hearing that kind of trophy. What the hell is Papa John's Cup? The FA Cup is a prestige trophy, which everybody knows in England. Everybody knows the FA Cup. So I think when you talk about success, I think finishing top 1 winning the FA Cup is a success. Can spring us going forward, because I look at this player like Rhys James, Tammy, Mason, all those kind of players. They need the trophy to kind of like finish off the season very well, going into the Hero coming up. So there will be more confidence, more kind of ready for the coming season. Well, FA Cup is a big trophy, so we have to win the FA Cup. We have to win it. So I don't know why you're saying.
So basically, so you think the FA Cup is important? It's an important trophy to win.
Yeah, it's very. FA Cup. Do you know how much they get paid? FA Cup even get more money than the Premier League. They get more money than the EPL.
Are you going to see any of that money? Is that money going to your pocket? Yes or no?
We just have to win the FA Cup. That's what I can say. It's a big trophy.
You say they have money. Daniel, FA Cup. How do you view this as a trophy, man?
To put it in perspective, I think last season, it was last season, wasn't it? Whereas Lampard against Arteta. I guess I could respond to the question with a question. Like, did you feel a way when Chelsea lost last season, like in the final?
Not
that was the when Aubameyang did Zuma and scored and all that kind of stuff. Like
in a sort of, because you see, I sort of that's a nice view. See, Toronto. I sort of view. Is that Toronto?
Yeah.
Wait, is that the Views cover, Drake?
Yeah, that's that thing.
I knew it. Yeah, I knew. I thought because that looks like the Drake cover.
Shout out Canada.
Yeah, that's so good. Blackface, the Trudeau.
Yes.
Yeah. Moving on too swiftly.
Also Griezmann. No, I'm just kidding. Stole footballer.
Also Fred Astaire as well. Tom and Jerry. Bugs Bunny.
It gets deep.
Yeah, it gets very deep. What's it
That's what I was saying. Like, to the importance of the FA Cup, if your team loses a final, do you feel sad or like angry? Because I don't remember feeling. And obviously, I'm a weird person to ask. That's why I threw it back to you guys. But I didn't remember feeling like, damn, they lost. Like, I didn't feel that way. Or even if they were to win it, because they beat United with Conte, they beat Liverpool in 2012. I guess actually 2012 I was pretty happy because that was I think Ramirez Drogba. But then the one with Conte, do you remember the one where Willian put the trophies over Conte and that was kind of
Oh,
that thing?
oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember like feeling just over the moon about the FA Cup. But maybe to Abdullahi's point, like this group of players needs to win something. And maybe the FA Cup could be that thing to make them winners in the same way that
see,
same way that people say Tottenham need to win, you know.
Then what I mean, if you look at the likes of Luis James, Messi, Mount, Tammy Abraham, those kind of player, like if you look at the way in the run of last season in the FA Cup when they lose, look at the way they react and everything. Winning the FA Cup this year, to them it will look like a very good season for them going to the Hero because now they all feel more confidence and more like ability that no, like when Drogba was in Chelsea, that feel factor of winning was in their DNA. So this team needs to understand the definition of that winning mentality in
Do you
them
think it
as a young
matters
player.
if they play? So, for instance, you say you put James Mount, Tammy Abraham. I don't know if there's a guarantee that either James or Abraham would play in a semifinal or a final. Mount will get his minutes. Tammy Abraham, I don't know if he's fit, and even if he is fit, there's no guarantee that he plays ahead of Havertz, Werner, Giroud. So, does just being in the team help them to be
Yeah.
winners, or do you think they actually have to be part of winning the trophy?
you have
And
to be
not
part of winning the trophy.
exactly it is right part not even like them being on it. At least they can feel the happiness of we win something for Chelsea. We have that feeling that aura around them like we won the FA Cup. Wow, that makes them like happy. If you look at we're talking about when we talk about the likes of Drogba, Lampard, John Terry, Ashley Cole. Look at those era. They have that DNA of winning mentality in them. They know how important the FA Cup is and how important the kind of winning EPL or the Champions League and everything means to them. So this group of players need to understand that there's a levels to this. It's not even a young player, it's collaboration with an experienced player like Giroud, who has won the FA Cup countless times with Arsenal. So you understand, and this how important the FA Cup is.
But how does winning the FA Cup translate to winning the league or the Champions League? Arsenal won the FA Cup last season. So what?
What I mean is, if you look at the caliber of player we have, like Giroud, these are players who has won the FA Cup, who won the Europa League, and also has won so many trophies as an experienced player. Having him around with the likes of Reece, Callum, Tammy, kind of galvanize them together, and even telling them, oh, this is how important this stuff is. Make them feel warmed, like having a new standing around the group, making them understand this is a winning team, and Chelsea is a winning club. So make them feel that winning mentality in them. That's what I mean.
Daniel, anything to add onto that whole winning thing for the FA Cup?
No. Also, I don't think they'll beat Man City in the semi. So,
So let's even come to that right now. Come to this is that I think Man City, I don't see. I mean, should be a good game. I think it'll be an interesting test, but I'm not sure that they beat Man City. In that game, I just think that Man City are far ahead in development. Chelsea are still a work in progress. So they're doing really well. They've been undefeated, but they're a work in progress. And they work in progress against a team that's already pretty much functioning and operating on a very high level. Yeah. But look, if Chelsea win it would be huge. It would be huge. But I think if I was to hazard a guess,
I got it. I heard you.
I know. I'm cheap.
It's okay.
I would say Chelsea to. No, I'll say Man City to win. I would like you. What's your prediction for the game, Chelsea Man City?
Like I said, HH, the first question I asked you is where's the manager of Manchester City? So this quadruple people kind of talk about we're gonna run football and everything. I think it's high time for the quadruple to stop because remember, Man City played Chelsea in the FA Cup. The following the Tuesday they play Borussia Dortmund. The following weekend they play Tottenham Hotspur in the Carabao Cup final. That is a big challenge for Manchester City and Pep Guardiola himself. So if we are talking about quadruple, we need to kind of analyze things very well. Yes, they can beat Chelsea. Is 100% sure? I doubt it. I'm still not even sure they can ease or breeze past Chelsea just like that. I doubt it because I know Tuchel want to take this match important. He want to go all out and say yes, this is our chance to go through. He knows after this match is the final, so he wouldn't want to take anything for granted. Pep Guardiola too. Then that's why I'm gonna judge how good of a manager Thomas Tuchel is going face to face with Pep Guardiola, who has been here for many years.
I was trying to think about the FA Cup final. Was there a red card? Was it Jorginho who got sent off, or was it Kovacic? Kovacic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to just think. Like I feel like Mount started on the wing.
Yeah.
I feel like Lampard played back three.
Mm-hmm.
Did James play? Like, did he start?
No, Aspilicueta plays.
No, but I thought it was Caballero, Zuma, Rudiger.
Is it in the final?
Yeah, the final. And anyway, I'm just thinking like there was a red card, the Zuma goal, not the Zuma goal, but the Aubameyang goal on Zuma.
But that's messed up Zuma. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just thinking back, but anyway, yeah. I don't really care about Manchester City and the quadruple. I mean, in order to do that, you have to win the Champions League. So let's just let Pep get to a final first before we start worrying about quadruples. I'm not sure domestically if there's any team that's good enough to beat City. So the final that they have against Spurs, as much as I would want to give it to Mourinho, I can't see that one happening.
Danny. This is what you can put money on. You cannot bet to say no winning a trophy, especially a final. I can put my money on it. Or say in the final. I'm sure 80% of it is winning it because it's a final. It's 50-50.
Mourinho's juju isn't stronger than Tottenham's juju. I'll put it that way. So like as
that's a bar.
As big a winner as Mourinho is, Spurs are like bigger losers. It is
what's below the belt.
Well, no, like it's the Chiellini line. You know, it is the history of the Tottenham.
Oh, come on, that's below the line. That's below the belts by a couple of
Spurs fans would
bigger
tell you that.
losers.
Spurs fans would tell you that.
They are bigger losers than Mourinho is a winner.
I think so. Like that's facts. I mean, it might not be something you want to say, but you know, it's the truth. So, but that's why they brought him in to test the theory. That's why Levy stuck with him. Let's see if we can't bring in a proven winner to win us something, even if that is a League Cup. So, yeah. As for Chelsea have a far better chance to beat City than Spurs do. But again, if Conte got injured recently, today even, I think he picked up a hamstring with France.
Well,
so
it's not much. It should be back.
Do you have like access to the French medical team?
No, they tweeted it out that it's not serious. It's not like you just need to some treatment that will be fine. No, we hope so. Place Conte, just place N'Golo Kante, go and get injured. I am begging you. I don't trust Jorginho. I don't trust that guy. Place Conte, please.
Okay. But yeah, if there's no fully fit Conte, after seeing what he did against Atletico, that's a necessary piece if you want to win anything. And then the final, if you beat City, you probably have to play Leicester. Nobody wants to play that team right now. Nobody.
Or Southampton.
They're hot.
Nobody. Keep Sweat. Nobody wants to play them. So
was he a rapper or an R&B singer, Keith Sweat?
New Jack Swing, so like R&B.
R&B,
you don't know Keith Sweat?
R&B.
Nobody. Make it last forever.
I always get him mixed up with someone else, and I always get confused whether he's the rapper or the R&B guy.
He's an R&B.
R&B.
Okay, all right.
I guess have hope lives in the UK, guys. We gotta forgive him for not knowing Keith Sweat.
So, guys, what's it called? So, final little topic here before the little throwback. So the news has come out about FFP. Ooh. If guys you don't know, financial fair play. UEFA are going to be scrapping FP apparently, because according to UEFA, they feel that based on the COVID situation, it's going to be quite hard for people to follow FFP rules. So for guys looking to recruit and so forth, they want to give clubs a bit much more financial freedom in order to acquire players. So hey, wherever you find the money, it's all good. With this, come to you, Daniel, man, because you seem to be a man in the know. Do you believe in your heart of hearts? True, this is true. He has sources in the club.
He has ears everywhere.
Yeah, he has sources in the club.
He has ears inside the French dressing room. So I'm not that deep yet.
Do you pause? Do you think that do you think,
he was quick with it.
so it's like when you get so embroiled in the pause, it actually becomes addictive. And like I'm actually like really quick with stuff now. So what's it called? How much do you think that he's going to spend? Obviously, with no restrictions now, Daniel.
From what I read quickly, I thought it was more they're going to restructure FFP rather than get rid of it completely. So
no. But the key thing is based on COVID. They said that they want to give people. Is it going to be a restructuring? But the key thing that they want to give people more financial freedoms to be able to spend. So remove away the restrictions because FFP is like you only spend what you earn.
Yeah, I think you could spend 50 million euros more than what you earn. I think that's how it worked. Obviously, there's no gate receipts, so a lot of teams, if you have a 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, I think Stamford Bridge is 43,000, 42,000, somewhere around there. So those tickets, how many home games would you have in a season? 19 plus maybe 3, 4, like 30 games maybe max, if you include preseason. I don't know how much money you would collect from those games. I would suspect it's a lot. So that would then go to your what's it called? Just revenue, and then that would be added. I would suspect that they would have something similar to FFP, but just they would maybe average out how much money you make from gate receipts and then allow you to spend that. And then that would be kind of their workaround for the COVID thing. But if it's just, this thing isn't working, Man City's beating us in court, etc., we just need to get rid of this thing. It's stupid. I mean, that's kind of wild, wild west at that point. I mean, Manchester United can spend as much money as they like. Obviously, they have the debt issues, but they have as much money as they need. PSG, Manchester City, Chelsea, Real Madrid in theory, Barca, not quite, but there are teams in Europe who would rival Chelsea in terms of how much money they can spend. Or you could just have the initial, in my opinion, the reason FFP came into existence was not to help clubs stay kind of financially responsible. The advent of FFP was to make sure that you didn't get what you were seeing with Chelsea, with Man City, with PSG, with Monaco, although they got in a little bit late, where you would have these billionaire conglomerates, so just billionaires themselves, taking clubs that otherwise weren't in the European elite and making them European elite. So Chelsea was maybe one of the first that we can think of. Then City got in, then PSG. And I think UEFA was like, whoa, if we let everybody and anybody buy any club they want and just pump in millions, whether from Qatar, whether from Saudi Arabia, whether from Russia, whether from America, whether from anywhere, the elite clubs that are already in a place of power, Manchester United, Juventus, AC Milan, Barcelona, they're going to be competing with clubs who just kind of sprout from nowhere. And I think FFP was more a response to that than anything, because if a club, you can pump as much money into a club as you want, but if they're not making the revenue to where you can spend it legally, then it's not a good investment, because it will take far longer to build a club than Abramovich is buying Chelsea and to the moon they go. So it's dangerous if they remove FFP if you're looking at it from a Chelsea perspective, because now somebody will be able to do to Chelsea what they did to others in 2003. So let's say somebody wants to buy just any club in England. You could buy Port Vale. If the owner wants to make that team a Champions League team and they have the money from China, Japan, Indonesia, Australia, Canada, you name it, they can put as many millions as they want into that club, and before you know it, Port Vale will be a top 4 club, depending on if they can, do it correctly. It
Daniel,
sounds
relax.
crazy.
Daniel, relax. Port
But
Vale, relax.
okay, obviously, maybe let's be more realistic. Let's say Crystal Palace. Let's say Crystal Palace. They're in the Premier League. They're near about top 4 some years, comfortably mid-table, kind of like how Chelsea were.
So would you like it then if shackles off Wild West? Let's pop bottles.
I think the idea of FFP is a good one. I just don't think UEFA is strong enough to limit what these clubs are capable of doing. It's like I don't know. Some laws are great on the books, but if you don't have the police, the judiciary, the whatever it is to enforce the law, then it's just good in theory, but it's not good in practice. And I think that's what FFP was. Excuse me. Just a great idea in theory where you're protecting clubs in theory, although I think they were like putting their foot on the necks of other clubs to make sure that they couldn't spring up. But look, I think I would like to see some remix, put it that way, of FFP. Just don't call it FFP because the initials FFP have been soiled. So call it something else, and make sure you can have a little bit more investment on the lower ends, but also keep the bigger clubs who are able to spend money, allow them to do so in a more free fashion. So I think that would help. Because have we seen in the past 10 years a club come from nowhere, as we did with Chelsea, as we did with PSG, as we did with Man City? There hasn't really been one.
Remember, this started in 2010, I think.
And since
the
then,
FFP, yeah.
Since then, I don't think a club has sprung up. That's like, where did this club come from? That hasn't happened in the same way, and that's done, I think, purposely.
And I remember, what's it called? Newcastle. They tried to do it, but they were blocked.
Yeah.
They were
because
blocked.
Monaco tried it. You remember when Monaco, they bought Moutinho, they bought Falcao, they bought James Rodriguez, I think, or maybe it was somebody else. That's in my mind, but maybe it was James.
Fabregas.
That was later, but they tried initially to do to the French league what PSG were doing.
Fabinho and Co and everybody, they buy some of them.
And then their owner had a divorce, and they had to. I think it was like the richest divorce ever, or maybe it's Abramovich, but it was up there. And because of the FFP regulations, they had to give up, like buying their Galacticos or whatever that version would be. Then they had to pivot into the money that we did get. They put it into the youth academy, and that's where you get Mbappe, Lamar, Bakayoko, Fabinho, that whole scouting, Mendy, Bernardo Silva, that's where all those players come from. But initially, they wanted to do what Chelsea did, what City did, what PSG did, and they weren't able to do it because they started it too late before the FFP came in. And that's kind of the last team I can think of that, this billionaire just bought this club and that's spend as much money as you want. That was the last time. So FFP, if my theory is correct, it's worked in terms of it's protected Madrid and Barca and, all the big clubs in Italy. Even, I guess it didn't, it was too late to protect, United's or Arsenal. Because, in the mid-2000s, it was Arsenal and it was Manchester United. Those were the people who were going together. And then Chelsea came from nowhere. Then City started. And now the Premier League is a bit more open in that way. So I would like to see it more open. But I don't know. I don't know if they do it.
Abdullah, man, your thoughts? FFP, it's been removed. Spending. Chelsea.
I think... where the problem of this FFP is the people the club who has money, like Chelsea, Man City, PSG, Madrid, and Co. how they can spend money, because the advantage the FFP is doing is like they are restricting some clubs who doesn't have the money to spend, restricting them and kind of making them lay back, because small club will be like, oh, look at Chelsea, look at City, look at the way they're spending. Now they say they don't want FFP want to be relaxed. It's give more time to the footballing owners like Juventus, PSG, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona to spend big. We know that it's for them to spend big, but how long? For me, my question is, how long can they keep this FFP stuff going? Because we know every summer clubs they want to spend money. We know you can't take them out because of the FFP. You can't say Chelsea won't spend money, Man City will spend money, even PSG won't spend money. It doesn't work that way. That's not football. Football now, there's technology. This with money. So every club wants to buy. There's the rumor going as Alan this, Alan that. So they want to spend money. They want to do this. So I think the people who will suffer from this FFP relaxation for me is the club who doesn't have that kind of financial budget as a big club like Arsenal, Tottenham, a little bit of United with the Glazers and everything. So who doesn't have that? They're having that difficulties of spending big money on players. So they all have that kind of lapses in them, like, oh, we can't spend the kind of amount of money we want to buy, like want to buy a player like Jody Sancho, Grealish, Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, and everything. So there will be more like, oh, we've been like unhappy with the way the FFP stuff. I think the problem with the FFP is actually this is where the problem is. How long can the big club keep spending? How long can they keep spending? Because now they say they want to take out the FFP and everything. If they say they want to take it out now, it doesn't stop club for spending money. They will spend money, but how long can it stop? Because if you're saying it's been relaxed, like they want to relax it just because the big clubs are complaining and everything. It's tough because advantage will be given to most big clubs that because they want to spend money and buy the kind of player they want to buy. They want to have that kind of spending free flexing with the clubs. Yeah, my club have money, my this have money and this and everything. So it happens that way. So you just have to understand that sometimes this financial fair play stuff needs to be is it was okay that it was being implemented because the kind of ridiculous way club are spending it needs to be spoken about. Now we're talking about the big club. Man City, PSG want to spend ridiculous money. Let's see, maybe Man City spend like 500 or let me say 1M on a player. Would the FFP stop just because they're spending money? No. People be like, they're spending this money because FFP allowed this. So if we're kind of being objective about the kind of way they spend, we need to talk about FFP themselves too. How long are they going to stop this about this stop and everything? So it's going to be difficult for them to stop because now you're giving more power and more chances to the big club for them to spend money because they have an owner who kind of literally cares about the club and everything going forward. So,
do you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see like a transfer and wage limit. So
no. I mean, like I was reading I read salary cap. Now, how they implement that, I don't know, but I read salary cap.
What I mean is, and maybe this is the same thing, but just what's in my head is you maybe get like 250 million euros to spend in the winter and summer window. Like that's how much money you get in a calendar year is 250, somewhere around there. And then your wage structure can only go above a certain amount. And that way an owner who wants to improve a Crystal Palace or a Newcastle or a Burnley or whomever, they can buy the club and they can spend a certain amount of money, you know. And even if they go in the red by 250, will allow you to do that. And then the wages obviously have to be worked in there somewhere. But just the idea that you can only spend more than what you make, that then limits a club who only makes a certain amount of money. They can only spend but so much. And what that does is it allows clubs who make a lot to spend a lot. So, or, if there's book cooking here or there, some teams can spend even more than what they make.
No, because my thing is that what is wrong with like, hey, I have a cousin who just wants to give me this amount of money. Why is that wrong? Hey, cause I need 300 mil to buy Joao Felix out of his contracts. Can I get it? Cool.
Ooh, that's a good. I didn't think about this. So let's say we impose some sort of transfer cap, like you can only spend 300 million euros in a window. What if there's a player who has a release clause of like 200 million or something like that? Like you could go out and you could buy him, but what teams would do would just put release clauses in every contract, like they do in Spain. I think like they do in France, perhaps, where if everybody has a release clause, just make sure this guy's release clause is over 300 million or something, and then he can never be bought. So maybe you'd have to go into how the contract law is dealt with, and maybe you'd have to put a cap on how much a release clause could be.
That's a very easy go around, man.
Yeah. So for instance, like Neymar's release clause was 222 million euros, or no, 222 million pounds, I think. No, it was euros. If the cap is 200 million euros, then you can't get him because you're spending more money. Although, I think PSG's cute workaround was they gave Neymar the money and he bought himself out of the contract, then they signed him almost as a free agent. So that was their workaround. So like I think they're from Qatar, or is it United Arab Emirates?
Group.
Yeah,
I think it's the Qatari group.
They gave Neymar 220 million check, and they were like, "Go to Barca, pay this money, buy yourself out of the contract, then we'll sign you."
I think that's how
they did it. So
why did he just pocket the money and say, "Oh, sorry, it slipped"?
Because
wait, Eddie, are you there, Eddie?
Of course, man.
Eddie, what's good, man?
Eddie,
Mr. Heavy, where have you been? You're late. You need to pay less fee, bro. You need to pay less fee. You get that, man. This is a show. You need to pay less fee.
So if there's anyone paying fees, it's you pagans who don't read the chat, man. I said it since Wednesday.
Yeah, I saw the chat. I'm just joking.
So Eddie, so we're talking about this whole thing of FFP. So FFP looks to be taken away. What do you think the spending will be for Chelsea? How do you think it's going to maybe affect how teams spend and so forth? Good thing, bad thing?
Can I ask a quick question? Why are you wearing glasses in this, but you don't wear glasses on the show?
All right. That photo was from 2017.
Oh shit.
Or 2018. In late 2018, I had a laser procedure done, so I don't use glasses anymore.
Wait. Is that? Because it looks like a photo shoot.
Nah, it's actually.
No, it looks like a still from an advert. That can't be like a real organic photo.
It looks like you're selling. I don't know.
No, actually, that was actually funny because it was just a random photo.
Wait. Sorry,
it was a random photo taken by one of my friends who was just playing around with the camera, and it turned out so good. I was like, "What the hell?" And there were two people behind me as well who looked like they were posing, or they knew someone was taking a photo. So it just worked out. So
yeah, I was like, I've never seen Eddie with glasses, but he has
glasses. That's the only decent photo I have, man. But FFP, in terms of FFP, man, I mean, Daniel's already focused on the high-end side of things. If you look at why FFP was brought in as well, it was to stop all these stupid owners coming into the smaller clubs per se and overspending, leaving the clubs bankrupt. And, FFP coming for clubs more responsible. I haven't read the article and stuff that they've put out, so I don't know what the full story is and what FFP will become. But I don't see a way where they cancel the whole FFP completely, because everything will just go bonkers at that point. You'll see players like João Felix going for, like Hish said, 300 million when he's not worth it. You'll see players like, let me try and find a mid at this point. Say a Jack Grealish, if the bidding war, takes his price over 150, 200 mil, is it really worth that? So, I think there'll still be some form of control over the market and how you can spend. It's just going to be a lot more relaxed, I think, because there's no gate fees coming in at the moment. So they need to find ways to bring it down, because clubs need to spend. The transfer market has to be exciting. I think last year there wasn't too much excitement in the transfer market. That's what I think you're looking at now and going, okay, cool, we have to find a way to make it more exciting, because Smaller clubs couldn't spend last year because obviously some of them were bankrupt, some of them didn't make any money because of COVID. And so now it's about, okay, let's relax it a bit more. Let's open the market up a little bit, instead of having Chelsea coming again to break the market. I mean, this is purely targeted at Chelsea, I feel, don't you? Because Chelsea were going from madness again this summer, but all of a sudden it's going to be a lot more open now, and you'll see, because if you look at the Haaland race, I think Barcelona and Real Madrid don't have the funds to sign him, but any potential workarounds with the FFP now might bring them back into the race. So it's all beautiful, I think, excitement in this summer, and then they'll figure it out, I think, once they start getting fans back in the stadium.
Do you know what? I just thought of a great example. Liverpool. Imagine if other clubs in England were able to do what City and Chelsea did. The competition for Liverpool, I don't think Liverpool would be in the position that they are now were it not for FFP. But FFP basically limited to where the two teams that succeeded in England were Chelsea and City, off of that kind of takeover model, basically. Which gave Liverpool some time from 2011, 2012, when they were like 5th, 6th, 7th in that area, and they slowly built better. But imagine if in those 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, Newcastle got their money, or instead of going to Everton got their money, or some team like that. Liverpool wouldn't be in the position they are now. And I think that's primarily why FFP was put in place, to protect those kind of, I don't know, AAA clubs in that way.
Actually, no. Speaking of that, because it's such an interesting one. So, from Dub from Centurion's 100 Points, who says Real Madrid and Barca are in a mess, and all of a sudden they're relaxing FFP. This doesn't sound right to me.
That's what I'm saying.
No. But Centurion, who is obviously a City fan, you're good. Because trust me, your pockets are way deeper than Barcelona Real Madrid's pockets. But the thing though is that I always said that, my gosh man, what the heck can Barcelona do? It's COVID. Who can they buy? There's no money. But now when you now remove the whole restriction of FFP, and it's like, okay, now use your imagination to think of funds. Real Madrid and Barcelona are still a bigger pool than a Man City. So they can be like, bro, like cousin, this guy, what's the name of the freaking Spanish king or something? Yo, lend us 200, 300 mil. Boom, we'll pay you back in about 5 years' time, if that. So you now have a situation where, Real and Barca, they're not back in the game. So
I think Barcelona have been so poorly managed that I don't know how much you'd be willing to like shoot them 200.
But it's
if you had it
now, though. It's a different guy to help. Like if it's Bartomeu, I know. But Laporta, hey, look, man, I'm different. I'm good. You can trust me.
The only thing that can really save Barcelona is like letting Messi go, if they're thinking about the longevity of their football club, because they're paying the guy what, 100 million a week.
Yeah, a lot of shit.
It's an exaggeration, but like he is taking a lot of their resources. So.
But then that's why I brought up the Haaland example, because if Haaland's available this summer and Real Madrid and Barcelona are back in the game, then it's mad, because Real Madrid will spend whatever, because they know this guy is going to sell jerseys, he's going to bring people into the stadium, especially if it becomes a hit. And compared to going to England, I think he would prefer to go to Spain, because you get more space to be able to do what he does best there, which is just, finish and also improve his game technically. So, look, if this thing goes ahead, Haaland to Chelsea is, dead. Haaland to City is...
Was it ever alive,
in
though?
the race? It is a little bit, because right now, Chelsea and Man City are leaders in the sense that they are the only ones who can afford them. In terms of how much it will cost. You've got agent fees, you've got transfer fee, you've got wages and all that. But if FFP gets reduced, then... hey, it's over.
Okay, guys, look, man, let's you're just in time for a little throwback segment.
Can I talk a little bit of FFP before you talk about throwback?
Okay, all right.
I kind of like what Daniel and Eddie said about the FFP, but this is where the problem of the FFP is. Uh, this is where the problem of FFP is, because if you look at this player who have been released clause like Joan Felix, let's put it like in an hypothetical way now. Kylian Mbappe signed like a 5 years deal with PSG, and in 2022, Madrid comes with money and say, okay, PSG, here's 350, give us Mbappe. Now, how does FFP stop that? How did they stop that? Because now Mbappe is signing a new deal. Now PSG is gonna be like, now we own Mbappe, we own him. So we want to send whatever amount we feel like. Yes, we want to sell him. Will Madrid bring the money out? Yes, Madrid's okay. PSG will give you the money for Kylian Mbappe for 400 million. So what does that tell the football club that? So you buy Mbappe for 400 million after signing a new deal. So how does FFP stop that? Because now they're kind of releasing FFP. How did they stop that? I don't think that could stop, because now it's already been brought in back, and because of club wants to spend money, so they want to make it to be relaxed a little bit. But you spend ridiculous money on a release clause, because release clause, it cannot be negotiated. It cannot be. It can't be negotiated. It can only be paid by the actual amount of money and actual amount of the release clause we have. So that's where the problem is at the moment, because now there's a release clause now. So club want to spend very very much money on the people who has a release clause on. Unlike club who doesn't have a little bit of money, like, oh, we don't have much, we don't really have much, so we're good and everything. So if they're doing the pros, they have to do the cons also too, because if they're thinking about the positivity in football, they have to think about the negativity too. The club who doesn't have money, who doesn't have the financial equipment to pay that kind of stuff money, so it's going to be difficult. But it will be more interesting for the big club like Man and Chelsea, Man City, Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG, because they have financial, let me say, pool power to go and spend ridiculous money, ridiculous season after season.
Bayern don't.
Just quickly, what is on the TV behind you?
Me?
Yeah.
This is my cupboard.
Yeah, there's a TV screen in there. Or is that a reflection?
Reflection.
It's a reflection. It's my light.
No, it's a reflection. It's a reflection.
My house
like,
light.
I thought I saw
No.
football. I was like, oh.
No, it's my light. It's my light. So for the team who was like release clause and everything on their head, so it's gonna be difficult for the FFP to stop it, because now there's a release clause, so it's gonna be difficult. Now look at teams that spend week in and week out every year. They want to spend money. Haaland this every day. I'm hearing Haaland this, Haaland that, Haaland. Every club wants to buy Haaland. Every club wants to spend money. So you can't stop team from spending money, because as long as they have that money, the financial power to spend it, you cannot stop them. The only people that are gonna be getting angry about not spending money is lower team like Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Glazers of United, Tottenham Hotspur. They will get mad because they don't have the financial pool power to spend their money. That's what the problem is at the moment. They will be forced. They will be forced to sell players. Players they don't want to sell. They will be forced to sell them. Why? Because they don't have the financial pool power to spend this money of other big clubs are spending. For me,
I think just one thing on that as well. Bayern might be a team that's negatively affected by this as well, because we all know Bayern buy from the rest of the Bundesliga, and if it becomes a thing where it's an open market, then they don't have access to think of a player like Upamecano. If Man City were willing to pay, if they said, "Look, screw that release clause, we'll pay double the money, we'll give you double what Bayern are offering," then I mean, it makes more sense for Upamecano to go Man City. So Bayern could also be another team that's potentially negatively affected, and every other club in Germany will be licking their lips like, "Yo, if we develop players and we're able to get the right players in, there's money coming in." So look, there's different aspects to it. We just need to see what the full thing is before we see how it plays out. But it should be exciting though.
Very exciting, man. I think it's time to take off the shackles. So, guys, it's time for a little throwback thing, and this is an exciting one, and I think you guys will enjoy this one. And I think there'll be some strong opinions on this, I feel. So, our throwback is
Bakayoko.
That was my drum roll.
John Terry. Oh.
No.
Why that picture?
I think this picture best represents who he is and what he was about. In terms of, I think me and Dan even had a discussion about this during the whole Frank Homeboy Hoopla, which is leaders in a dressing room. Now, I have my views on David Luiz, and this is what I've always said about David Luiz. So, a manager should have been wise enough to have retrained him to be a DM. He would have been a
Benitez tried.
fantastic DM.
I was going to say that.
Benitez tried, and they won a Europa League. So, it did happen. It's just Mourinho was like,
You know? So, it's like he should have been a DM, and that should have been it, because I think you can tell that he has decent defensive qualities, but he's also very, very good on the ball, which means that he would be a perfect DM where you don't have the sole responsibility that a central defender has to have, but you also can complement, and your football skills can be used better for fruition, similar to what a Busquets is. So, but I think it's because you look at Chelsea now, and a certain person is getting groomed apparently to be the next leader and so forth. And this is according to Absolute Chelsea. See, I don't want to say the name because I don't want to be a broken record, but look at this Chelsea squad and so forth.
Break that record,
like, to be honest, the leader I see is Rudiger. I think Rudiger comes across to me because I can already tell, looking at interviews, what people have said, that he has a strong presence in the dressing room.
He's a bully.
Oh, he's a bully, according to those.
According to Matt Law.
Yeah, according to Matt Law and those young losers. So, screw those kids, man. So my thing is that, but beyond Rudiger, there are no leaders here. Azpilicueta is not a leader. Mount ain't a leader. There are no leaders in here. David Luiz, as much as he's going to frustrate you, he's going to make mistakes and so forth. My gosh, this guy was a leader and had a strong character, and it is very important to have a few of those. But I think as of right now, Chelsea will have one, and that's Rudiger, who is like a strong personality there. But for Luiz, I just think that if he was a DM, he'd still be at Chelsea, and my goodness, I think he'd be far highly regarded as a player. Who wants to jump in?
I think I'll just go because I might need to dip in a few minutes. What I'll say with David, I don't think he was that leader the way you're mentioning at this point, but he was a player that other players would love to play with and gravitate towards. I don't think he was that guy I'd look at on the field, and I think me and Daniel argued this point sometime on this show. I think earlier in the show, but I can't remember, where I said, look, David Luiz is not the kind of leader that you want on the pitch or you want to watch and model your game after. If you're talking of leadership, I don't want that. But if you're looking for a player who, for example, for a young player coming into a team, you want to feel comfortable, you want to relax and enjoy the environment. David Luiz was a guy who would probably take you under his wings and go, okay, cool. This is how you act in certain places. This is how you move. This is how you move. But there's not a leader that I want to watch and go, okay, cool. That's someone I want to emulate. But I do agree with you when you say he should have played DM because I think he had the qualities, but. First thing I actually thought was net spend 0, I think, for Chelsea. Thanks to PSG. But another thing, I guess...
I think, was it 50 million that they were buying for?
Yeah, they paid... Chelsea bought him for 20. He went for 50 and then came back for 30. So everything worked out in the end. But I think another thing was he should thank Conte as much as we... bash Conte for taking the title-winning squad and basically winning another title. I think he helped people like David Luiz in terms of giving him a career in English football at the time. Because if we all go back to that period, I think David Luiz would have been one of the first few players we're looking at getting rid of. And Conte came in, rejigged the whole thing, and I think it was... Luis Cahill and who else played centre back at the time? Can't remember. So Conte basically gave him second life, and that's where this whole ball playing centre back thing kind of took off from. And I think he left Chelsea 1 year too early, thanks to Homeboy. But it is what it is, man. Daniel, go off. Daniel Luiz.
No. Like
Daniel Luiz. Yeah.
I use David Luiz as an example for a lot of things because I think people he how would I put this? He divides opinion, I guess is the easiest way to put it. So I like using him for examples because it gets people feeling one way or the other. But yeah, I mean, I hear Eddie's point. I think Eddie's right in terms of he might not be the leader, but he is a leader. And it just depends on where you're trying to go. So if you're trying to win a Champions League, I don't know if David Luiz is going to be the person to lead a team to a Champions League. But if you need just a leader in the dressing room or somebody like a glue person in the dressing room that everybody feels comfortable around and just helps foster a good feeling in the team, that's David Luiz. It's the same way. I don't know if Drogba would captain Chelsea to a Champions League being like the leader. I think that's more suited for a Lampard or a Terry or somebody like that. But you can't win a Champions League without people like Drogba in the team who everybody feels comfortable with. And, you know, he relates to the English speaking, the French speaking, the Spanish. Like, you need people like that in your team. So I always saw Luiz as the successor to that role that Drogba had. And I would have liked to see maybe Zuma take on that role from David Luiz as being the guy, but it seems like it's Rudiger, who's the guy that everybody kind of gets along with. So as for who the actual captain of Chelsea should be, I mean, give it to Mount. Who cares? Like, you need somebody who...
Mr. Daniel, I kiss.
Who else are you going to give it to? I mean, you might as well. You're not going to give it to Christensen.
There's Silva, there's Zuma, there's Rudiger. There's so many players who can be a captain, not missing Mount. I'm sorry. There's even Ugolo Kante that can be a captain.
For me, I'm not really bothered about the whole thing of Mount. Like, again, like, that doesn't really bother me. It doesn't bother me. Like,
I'm not moved one way or the other. Like, if it's going to happen, so you might as well just accept it after like it's happening. So, but that's with David Luiz, man. The moments that come to mind, obviously, the penalty in Munich where he just kept going back and back and back and back. I'm like, oh God, he's gonna crash this penalty.
But little tidbits, but you know, Daniel, that's thing that you said. Okay. But I'm just saying the way that it was described. Because it was described in that thingy.
Yeah.
Really I think that really crystallized it well. The way it was described. I was like, oh, jeez, this dude.
There was my favorite David Luiz moment was, it didn't have anything really to do with, well, it had something to do with David Luiz, but I was this was 2013. It was like my last semester in college, and it was a game that happened at or university, and it was a game that happened like in the afternoon here. So I was in a sociology class it was dealing with like disaster, right? So we were talking about like hurricanes and stuff like that and how it affects people. But I had my MacBook. It was right there, and I had like it was Chelsea against Fulham. And it was a game being commentated on by Ian Wright. If anybody can, you can go look this goal up. So I don't know, the ball just gets to him, and Ian Wright says something to the effect of like, Chelsea are gonna need something spectacular, right? Not a second later, I think it was Ramirez or somebody passes the ball to David Luiz, and David Luiz, he's just like, fuck it. And he takes a shot from maybe 35 meters, somewhere around there, top corner. And I'm in class, and I'm like, I'm going nuts. And the teacher just kind of the professor, he kind of makes eye contact with me, and it gives me like and then he just moves on with this thing.
Wait, so you're watching it on your laptop?
Yeah, in class, but I always sat in the back of my class at the left in case like somebody came with a gun. I'd be the last to get. But that's a different conversation for another day. Like,
wait. So you had internet access in your class?
Of course, yeah. Like,
of course, man.
Every school has an internet access. There's a Wi-Fi.
You
live in England.
I don't want to give away my age.
What brick place did you go to when you didn't have internet? Wi-Fi?
All I'm saying is, no, okay, let me explain. I don't want to give away my age, but when I was in school, we had to go to the IT room And in the IT season, it was
Which school do you
dialogue.
go to? Is it Olumelu in Nigeria
So
or Ijaniki in
So
Africa?
so
Where
so
do
so,
you
so
go?
basically, the
Not
computer
say
room that
Janiki in Africa.
the computer room that we went to, it was
Did you go to school in the 90s? Did you go to university in the 90s? That sounds like some 90s things where you have to go to the computer lab in order to go
HH,
online.
Yeah.
that's when he's talking. It's an African internet. You know, in
No, no,
Africa,
no, 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 no,
we
no,
don't
no.
have Wi-Fi.
This was a school in England
Wow.
where there was no basically there was no concept of having internet on a laptop in classroom. That didn't exist.
But anyway, so I always sat in the back of my classes if I could get away with it, just because I want to see who's coming through the door, all that kind of stuff. So, after Virginia Tech, I made the decision like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. But anyway, so I'm in the back of the class. David Luiz, let's go this rocket. It goes in the top corner against Fulham. I'm like, I'm making audible sounds, although I'm trying to be quiet. And the professor, he looks at me, and we just kind of had this moment of like, what are you doing? I'm not gonna say what I'm doing. And then he just kind of went on with his talk. So that's my favorite David Luiz moment. I think is like that goal against Fulham, because it made me happy. So
Wait, HH, is this photo from the game against Liverpool?
it might be.
I think this was the goal. The free
Was that
kick
the
was
free
scored
kick?
against Liverpool?
Yeah.
I mean,
Or-
I just
or
put
it
in
might
David
be-
Luiz Chelsea, but I mean, yeah, because this has to be when I think this was when he scored one of his long rangers.
Yeah.
No,
that's what I'm
this
saying, it's the free kick.
versus Roma. Is this versus Roma?
No, because he has Premier League badges on without the
Yeah, it's got a
Champions
Premier
League.
League
So it's
badge.
got to be Champions League. It could
Because
be
you
a
have to look at
Willian
their
goal.
kits. And what
could-
year was that kit? Wait, is this the Sarri era kit?
27, I think 2018, 2019. This is 2018,
That's
2019.
Hazard's last season, probably.
Hazard's last season.
So, anyway, what else do I remember about David Luiz? So we got the Fulham goal, Chelsea, Bayern.
The
What are his
penalty
other
in the
moments?
Champions League final
Yeah,
7-1,
with the long ass run up.
there was the penalty in the was it the League Cup final with Sarri, where like he did the same run up and then he hit the post. I was like, I knew that was gonna happen eventually. Yeah, man. Whenever I think about David Luiz, another favorite David Luiz moment when he got tackled. I forget what game this
God.
was, and he went down and like in pain, and he was like,
Versus United Chelsea.
that
That
was-
is hilarious.
That's wild. From
That
David
is
Luiz.
hilarious, man. That is
and
hilarious.
then he gave like the little smile, like
Yeah.
He looked at the camera, man.
yeah, he looked right into the camera, like. So yeah, man, he was funny, man.
Abdullah, what about you? Round us up, man. Your
So many things about David Luiz. Rafael
Oh,
Benitez
God.
when he
I'll
was
stop him now.
Whoa, just pause. I think the goal he scored against Fulham might have come in a game where he played DM, because it would
Yeah.
have been that season where they won Europa League. So just to have Hope's point, but
so many stuff about David Luiz. Okay, the Rafael Benitez when he was playing in the midfield, scoring. I think is it against Fulham that he scored from the middle of the pitch.
yeah, that's the game I was talking about.
I remember that. That was Europa League. I think it was Mikel who passed him. Was it Mikel Lama? I'm not sure who gave him the ball. Then he turned, and it was like boom. I was like, wow. So I think something about more David Luiz is like we need to appreciate him in terms of the way he passed the ball. Yes, it may not like HH use his analogy. It may be a break defender, but it's a very good passer of the ball. That's your analogy, HH. So we need to appreciate the way he passed the ball. So because in terms of passing from the back, David Luiz is for me one of the players you can trust in passing the ball from the back because he has that attribute and the ability to do that. That's what
defender.
He
as a
made the
defender.
back three possible in terms of his ability from the middle. Because from how I see it, the middle defender in a 3 is basically like the anchor in a 4-3-3 anyway. It's kind of the same thing, not exactly, but it might as well be. You might as well be like a Busquets or whoever it is. So David Luiz's passing ability in that back 3 from the middle, sending balls to Hazard, to Willian, to Pedro. Even he would with Sarri, he would even in a 2. He would even try to find Conte, who was going on runs. He's the only one who was willing to try to pass to Conte. It used to annoy the shit out of me. But yeah, I think Abdullahi's perfect on that the passing ability or the ball playing ability. He was the best ball playing center back
Ball
in
playing
Europe.
center back.
Maybe Busquets and Hummels could try to argue with him. Not
Kimi-
Busquets, sorry.
Maybe
but
Kimmich.
Bonucci and Hummels could argue.
Bonucci
with him,
was very good though. Bonucci
Yeah.
was very good.
But
Yeah.
David Luiz was up there. He still is, to be fair.
Yes, yeah. We miss that kind of player in David Luiz. You can easily pass from the back. If a team is pressuring you, you can just lead the defender. You can toss like, hey, give him that ball. He can pass. He can pass. It's like a ball playing central back. So yeah, it's not like a all-round central back, but when the kind of way the technology is being used this in this kind of modern era football, David Luiz is kind of a perfect example. In kind of a defender you can toss like, yeah, give me that ball. I know where to pass to. So I think credit has to be given to him because the way football has been put out recent in this kind of modern era. So David Luiz is the perfect stuff. A lot of things about Luis, a lot. Like I think I can remember when he was bought his first match against United when he scored the volley. I don't know if you guys know about this. Was it? I think they brought him on in the second half against United when it was his first Premier League appearance under. I've forgotten the manager. We won 2-1 then. They brought Luis when he volleyed the ball from the middle of the pitch.
Was it Ancelotti? Was he bought
God
with
bless you.
Torres?
Yes, it was bought with Torres. It was bought with Torres. So that was his. Is it his first Premier League season? I'm not sure.
Somebody
I know he
better
came in
look it up,
January.
but-
He came in January with Fernando Torres.
I think it was 2011. 2011.
Yeah, he came with Torres. His first Premier League match. Then the volley he scored against Van der Sar. I could remember. I'm not even sure. So as he scored the volley, that was like this. This way it was celebrated. That was when it was we're wearing like a long sleeve. When we're putting like a Samsung jersey then. So I could remember then. So many stuff about David Luiz then. So like they can never be talking about. It's been breaking now just because the way football has been kind of modern.
How did you guys feel about his free kick technique that he
It's-
stole from Drogba?
Exactly.
I've never really liked it. You know,
It's very good at free kick taking.
but it's a fact. I mean, see, thing about free kicks is that whatever works. If you score from it, fine. You know, like see, I always preferred Juninho's and Pirlo's. Basically, Juninho and Beckham had a very good technique, but the one I actually preferred was either Juninho's or like Ronaldinho's, where you're just sort of guiding it in. Pernambucano is you're hitting it right in the sweet spot so that it swerves.
So
but
Beckham, basically.
Beckham, yeah.
no. Beckham was like Ronaldinho. He went
Beckham
for
came from the
placement.
side.
Yeah, he came from the side, but he didn't hit it. Like, but Pernambucano was if you hit it at the right spot, it then will like swerve, which is what Piero said. He actually took his technique from Juninho Pernambucano. So
I never liked I hated when I saw Luiz over a free kick. Because it's not happening. Whatever you think is going to happen is not going to happen. Just because it happened once or twice. I think he made one against Villa.
and he made a win at the World Cup against what's it called?
Colombia?
Colombia, yeah.
Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. So
no, I'm not a fan of that technique.
And also, what do you guys think about JJ Okocha's free kick? I think you talk about Juninho free kick, but I think Okocha free kick should be taken more serious because he has more precision and the way he plays free kick is more. For me, it's a better free kick taker than Juninho for me.
No, it's not. Juninho Pernambucano is the best free kick taker. It's him and Beckham are the two best free kick takers of all time.
Yeah.
Like that's.
But
like,
you can put JJ in the mix also. You can put JJ in the mix.
And I'm a huge JJ fan. Because he just isn't. Like the best free kick takers of all time are Messi,
Juninho.
Beckham, and Juninho.
Messi. Well, maybe recent Messi. Yeah, maybe.
Have you?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah. Like he is. Like those are the three: Messi, Beckham, and Juninho.
Ronaldinho.
Maybe
He was good, but I don't think he was as. He may be like fourth.
Ronaldo.
But actually, let me ask you a question.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Let me ask you a question. Since you
Actually, before I answer, let me just hit this. So from Centurion's 100 points man, who says, I can guarantee you that if this FFP is not relaxed, there is no way Real or Barca will go in for Haaland. Huh? UEFA know what they're doing. I hate them. But
What are they doing?
No, but my thing on Mr. 100 points, you're good. This is... Isn't this... Am I bothered about? Isn't this good for Man City? If you don't have any relaxations, you're in no danger of being thrown out. You can use the money and people are moving for money right now. Because if it's a situation where Barca Real offer, let's say they offer Haaland, we're going to give you 200,000 a week. City will say, we're going to give you 350 a week. Haaland may be like, yeah, I'm 20. Real and Barca, I don't really understand the importance of them as a 20-year-old. 300,000, I'm off because they can offer me more. So I don't see why.
I'm on the edge of what you said. I'm a little bit 50-50 because Man City doesn't spend Man City money. NASA could kind of back me on it. They don't spend above 60 million and 70 million on a player. And Haaland wants to get 350. I can put my money on it. Kevin De Bruyne is the highest paid player in Manchester City. It cannot go above KDB. It cannot go. Haaland can't go above KDB because he wants to get 350. Man City has money, but they cannot pay Erling Haaland 150 million euro and give him a wages of 350 million. It's not going to happen. It ain't happening. This is not Madrid and this is not PSG. It's not going to happen.
Abdullah has a point as well, because if you look at the Man City wage structure, they don't pay overs. Yes, they have like 10-40 million players and they give them similar wages. But if you're talking about what you're saying, then if Haaland's walking into the door with 350k, then KDB is going there saying, "Yo, let's break the bank, man. Let's get 500." And then you have Sterling to go in there. You have Diaz. You have Stones. You have all these players who would want to earn in that high, because they're supposed to be all on similar things at the moment. So, yeah, it's not really good for Man City.
But then if it's me, I'll say, guys, do you want to win all the trophies or not? If you want to win all the trophies or not, pipe down and just accept that money you have, because this dude is going to start pad.
At the same time, you tell Haaland the same thing. I mean, who's going to be feeding Haaland?
He can feed himself.
Is he a baby? This is where the problem is.
Baby, bro.
If you are talking about the buying of 150 million and 350 million, Man City is out of it because United is even out of it. I think the only team that can pay that kind of stupid money and ridiculous money is Chelsea, because we know how that club is run. The only highest player in Chelsea at this moment my head can say is Conte. Conte is getting 290, and I can tell you one thing. When you tell Conte, Conte won't buy Haaland, we could give him 350. Conte say, okay, whatever it is, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm good. Conte doesn't have stress. He doesn't have stress. It's not someone like KDB who will be like, hey, Pep, look at my stats. I'm the highest assist in the PPL.
Not really. I don't think Chelsea are breaking the wage structure for Haaland as well with Conte.
Because
they would have done it with Havertz if they could.
Guys, merci beaucoup for joining us. So, guys, remember, man.
Hey, before you go, my question. Before you go, please, my question. I wanted to ask you something. You see, you were kind of way too much, and some players you like and everything. I was kind of talking about the free kick takers and everything, but you've not mentioned you love Zad so much. But my question to you is, why hasn't he been taking free kick ever since he's been in Chelsea? I only seen him take free kick once, and you kind of much about him. Hazard is this, Hazard is that. Hey man, chill, man. If Hazard is on the level of Cristiano Ronaldo, if it's on the level of Kylian Mbappe and this kind of player, he needs to be taking more free kicks, because he's been in Chelsea for 7+ years.
Because he doesn't take
Abdullah, he needs to be playing games first right now, bro.
No, I'm talking when he was in Chelsea. Why wasn't he taking free kick?
Because Willian was better, Luiz was better.
Andy, let the teacher answer. This is a love Hazard.
Okay, why didn't big Ronaldo take free kicks?
Which Ronaldo? Dilemma.
The big Ronaldo. R9. Why didn't he take free kicks?
Dilemma is a number 9. Hazard is a winger. There's a difference. You compare Hazard to a winger.
Drogba is a number 9.
Oh, so wingers should be taking free kicks.
You love Hazard so much that you are calling the best players in the world. I expect him to be taking free kick like Ronaldo.
Guys, thank you for tuning in for Complicated Chelsea Show, man. Please follow us and everything via Twitter handles, and please join us on our Patreon. Links are below if you want to support us and so forth. Links are below in the description box and so forth.
Shout out to everybody, guys. Support me on Spotify, you guys, people. We are on Spotify. Let's get that likes and subscribe to the channel, the Football Hot Guys.
Guys, peace out. Stay true, stay real, stay lovely, stay sexy, stay humble, and
That's what
we'll see you
HH about
guys
Isaac Abdullahi.
on the other side, man. Peace out, stay true. One love. Peace, peace,
Peace, guys. Peace.
Peace out, man.